In Kabul, it seems you can turn back time. The Taliban promise it'll be better this time, but so dark are the memories of 20 years ago, many here simply don't believe them. The fall of Kabul will forever be defined by these upsetting images. So much for an orderly, American-led departure. What looks like a disaster movie was all too real. It's fact, not fiction, that these Afghans were so frightened they were willing to take their chances clinging to a departing American transport plane rather than staying here. But as a bid for survival, it was doomed. Several men plunged to their deaths as the jets climbed and US personnel left this fiasco behind them. When we flew into Kabul early yesterday, Afghanistan was still a democratic republic. Tonight, it's an Islamic emirate. This morning, the Taliban escorted us through the city. They claim they had to rush in to save from looters when government forces fled. They captured Kabul with comparatively few fighters, but say 10,000 reinforcements will soon be here to completely dominate the capital. That's the British embassy. The Taliban have guards around it today. They want to have a relationship with the international community, so they don't want the place looted or ransacked. Our journey ended at what was, until yesterday, the home of the United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan. It's now a Taliban barracks. Did they come here yesterday? It was heavily defended, but the guards surrendered without a fight. So these are some of the new rulers of Kabul. Clearly the Taliban advance on the city was very well organized. These men knew exactly where to come. This is one of the UN compounds in the city, and they're going to guard it until Kabul is entirely pacified. Inside, we met the Taliban commander now in charge of this part of the city. He told me he'd been injured 5 times during his 17 years fighting the Americans. He also said he was surprised how easy it had been to take back the Afghan capital.
I never thought I would see it in my lifetime. When I came into the city, I cried with joy. People welcomed us. They were very happy.
When I pointed out that the disturbing airport scenes suggested many Afghans were terrified of the Taliban, he blamed 20 years of foreign propaganda and lies.
We want to persuade those trying to leave to stay here instead. They are our brothers. When they stood with the foreign invaders, they were our enemies. But now that the infidels have betrayed them, all is forgiven.
As we left, the Taliban commander showed us a new stash of weapons they'd set aside. These are obviously the AK-47s and magazines that the Taliban confiscated from the Afghan soldiers and police officers who were guarding this UN compound only yesterday. The Biden administration can dress all this up whatever way it likes, but one consequence is that Afghan women can no longer dress the way they like. Face coverings are compulsory again. On a street well known for ladies' shops, pictures in the window of barefaced women have already been painted over. The spectre of female servitude looms once more. This street represents the changing face of Kabul. Women's hairdressers, beauty salons and boutiques, all painted over and shut, probably never to reopen. As autumn approaches, the clocks will soon be going back, but here it will be by more than an hour.